Yes, let's jump into the MLB though, Brett, because we have a large slate of games. The St. Louis Cardinals are still postponed. They're not going to be playing on Monday either against the Pittsburgh Pirates. But there are some other teams that have had some interesting news happen with them. Not necessarily COVID related, but the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros, they had a little incident on Sunday where uh, Laureano was hit by a pitch and then decided to charge the Astros dugout.
Yeah, that was a wild moment. I'm sure all our listeners have seen it, but you mentioned there will probably be some fallout to this in terms of people missing games, Higgins.
Yes, there were punches thrown from the video that I saw at least, and there should be repercussions to players that took part in this, but those punishments have not been handed out. And so it's part of why I am making one of my MLB picks, which is going to be the Los Angeles Angels minus 1.5 alternate line plus 200. Now, the normal run line is Oakland minus 1.5 at plus 115, and the Angels being given 1.5 runs at minus 135. But since there haven't been punishments that have been handed out yet, I expect those will be there by game time tomorrow, and there will be certain players like Laureano that are suspended. So I'm going to flip the roles because I think that there's going to be some large line movement here and go with Angels minus 1.5 plus 200.
I just gotta ask, like, I think the sports books saw what happened today. You don't think they prepared for that at all, or nothing like that?
I think it's partly factored in already, but I don't think you can necessarily guarantee and make that line that there's going to be suspensions yet when they haven't been handed out yet. You don't know the extent of what they're going to be. You don't know if it's just going to be Laureano or if there's going to be other players on the A's that are being suspended as well. I think this is a chance for potential big line movement. Yes, I'm taking this chance before anything happens by saying Angels minus 1.5, but I'm going to sit comfortably with it because also it's not going to really be a pitcher's duel. I mean, we got Sean Manaea, who has an ERA of over 8, and then he's facing Julio Teheran, who has an ERA of 6.75. Neither of these guys have gotten a win yet. It's going to be a battle of the bats, and if you're taking a guy like Laureano out of the Oakland lineup, I'm going to give it to the team that has Mike Trout.
Well, I think it's definitely fair to bet against cold pitching. I tried to bet on hot pitching in the last episode. It burned me. So this episode, I'm betting against hot pitching. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Minnesota Twins face off tomorrow. I'm going over 8.5 runs. It just feels like a game that's going to end 6-4. That's just where this game's going to end. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know why it's going to be 6-4, but it'll be 6-4. And like I said, both pitchers have sub 1 ERAs, Dobnak and Hauser. So that'll be an interesting game to watch.
Yes, it will. I was looking at this game. I actually have part of it in a parlay that I'm going to be doing. I decided to pick a bit of a long shot parlay to mention on this podcast as well. That is Atlanta, Washington, Chicago White Sox, and Minnesota all money line, and it's plus 1249. So very long shot odds, but I like each of these. Minnesota, they've been playing a little bit better, and even though Milwaukee's got a great lineup, they're 1-4 at home. So I'm gonna take Minnesota, who's 10-6 on the season. Washington, they're undefeated on the road, and the Mets have struggled at home as well. And then we have the Chicago White Sox, who are going to be in Detroit, 6-2 on the road. Chicago's been playing really well recently, getting 6 of their 8 wins on the road. And then lastly, the Atlanta Braves, they're going to be in Philadelphia. And I'd say this one might worry me the most because it's against Aaron Nola with Philadelphia. But the Braves, they're 11-6. The Phillies, they're 4-6. And I just think the better team's going to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, good luck. Like you said, it's a long shot parlay, so I hope it cashes because that would be a lot of fun. But when you bet 4 teams in one in one go, it's hard, man.
The hardest part about this also is that there's not really going to be an ability to hedge because all of these games are happening pretty close to the same time. The Twins is the latest start time for me at 5:10 p.m. on the Pacific, on the West Coast, and the Atlanta Braves Phillies, that's the earliest start at 3:05. So it's going to be hard to try to hedge this if something looks like it's going well and then you want to protect yourself. So I don't think I'm going to have that opportunity.